we'll get into this more next week on specifics on the plan and goals. We want you to have an understanding of your business plan and your goals. It's not a 17-page document with all sorts of craziness to it. Your business plan should fundamentally fit on a page or two and be so hyper-focused that you can actually review it regularly. And that's a trick. If you're not reviewing it, you're going to be off track. I have a daily, weekly schedule that I adhere to. And again, it's the variability we talked about. The reason schedule's in here a couple times is because it's so important. I have personal and business budgets in place. This is another one that is something that Stephanie and I have violated extensively in the past, that came to bite us, had to deal with. This is, other than following my schedule or lack thereof in the real estate industry, this is the next one that is the snake oil salespeople and the shiny object industry. There's limited budgeting for people, and this gets into that whole return on investment. Agents will have, at the end of the year, a tremendous amount of business they did, and usually don't know how much money they made net. They don't know what they're spending, or they know they're spending a lot, but they don't want to open their numbers up because they might be embarrassed. But this is one area where you can get either really, really on track or be way, way off track. And again, with that example I gave you of that extreme example of the agent who was marketing focused and spending $100,000 a month. They knew what they were spending, but they thought that it was all about being on the hamster trail of, we're just going to make even more money than the $100,000 we're spending. Ultimately, they failed too. And the lesson here is there are very few examples. Stephanie mentioned one who's the golden boy for one of the franchises. My expectation is if it's true to course like many, many others, you'll see all these examples of these heavy expenses. They may very well know what they're spending, but the ability to carry that on long term is much less frequent than it is for people that want to make $400,000 profitably and not have to work themselves and rely on a huge amount of overhead to make it happen.
Can you quickly?
Yes.
Can you, I just want to repeat that. All of the big teams that we knew when we were at that franchise that were in business when we were in business are gone. They're gone. Alan Lancaster, gone. Or Chad Goldwasser, gone.
Right, but they're restructured. They're a single agent or they're something else today.
But they're not marketing focused anymore. They're not marketing focused.
They're not. And some of that has to do with the market being dynamic and it changes. And it's difficult to claw back contracts and investments and things from, especially on the marketing side. Yeah. We ultimately believe, and we work with, and this is why we're different than a lot of the coaching and training systems out there. It has to be customized for your market, for you, and for what you're looking to accomplish. And what's interesting is we will rarely find agents when you ask good questions about them, their market, and what they want to accomplish that just say, well, if I could make $400,000 and in 5 years I want to make $4 million. The truth and the reality is, number one, it's very difficult to do that in a profitable fashion without hyper amounts of risk, just based on market conditions and the way that real estate works, given the ability to recruit the amount of talent you would need to do that. Doesn't mean it's impossible, but what they tend to do is they tend to get focused on high volumes and a treadmill that has such low profitability that if anything goes astray, it comes down like a house of cards. Now, there are some examples of this that are actually the antithesis of this. You look at somebody like Russell Shaw in Phoenix. He does marketing and does what he does in a very profitable fashion. But he's also resisted doing a lot of different things. And he's done it from a profitable. But those are the exceptions, not the rule. There are many more, thousands of agents that make money